All right, Helluva Boss, episode 5, Harvest Moon. So this was basically about the whole team is going to go to this harvest to escort Moxie and Moxie's rich boyfriend guy to this harvest festival thing. And they're basically, it's going to be kind of like a trip kind of episode of a sitcom, but it's, Helluva Boss and all that stuff. Some of the show, I like the sitcom elements of this. It had with Blitz and Blitz's boyfriend. They go there, and it's where Moxie and them are from, and they basically are trying to compete and in this kind of harvest festival thing. It's very kind of sitcom-y and plain-ish, but I think there is sort of something interesting going on here, and it's with Stryker, who the big get of this is that they got Norman Reedus to be Stryker, who I'm assuming is a bigger part, mostly because they got Norman Reedus, but they do allude to more going on. Stryker is at first just to be Mr. Cool Guy, but he comes up to Blitz and basically says, you could be so much more if you killed, these, more important demon people, and he has this gun that can kill, royalty demons or whatever. That I find interesting, because it kind of shows me, at first I thought this was going to be a sitcom, and they'll go to each episode they'll kill another person, that'd be a fine show or whatever. And then it makes me think that what's really going on is we're going to see Blitz obviously could be maybe more. Maybe Stryker is going to try to take out this royalty, even though we know he is being paid to try to kill this person. Not to give away too many spoilers or anything, it seems like he has more motives behind that than we are led to believe, than just us doing a random assassination kind of job. So I do think there's probably more to do with the kind of social, and I know I've been joking about these sort of things, but I actually do feel like it's there. It does feel like it's there, that they could be this socio class war thing that's going on within Helluva Boss, because they're kind of these lonely kind of peasant people who are doing these security, but what if that security firm kind of rose up and took these people out, and maybe Stryker is representing kind of this because most of the hell stuff in the Vizzy Pop stuff is about how this lower class is held down within the structure of hell within this whole world and stuff, and Stryker is the first person who the other people are trying to find refuge from it. And Stryker, I find what's interesting about him, this is maybe just a review of Stryker actually, is that he is the one who's no, I will fight and destroy this. And I'm very curious what that means fully for this show, because maybe it's just a one-off and we'll hear about him in a couple episodes later, but it seems like there's something more there. And I found that to be a little more interesting, that he's sort of using his job to fight back against the rich. What I want to know more about Stryker. I would actually just like to see a Stryker show after this, because as much as I like Helluva Boss, this was very cliched for them. I think they kind of write it well, but I feel like sometimes I'm making excuses for a show that's just sort of the cursing and all that stuff is a bit much sometimes. I know that's part of the style. Maybe I'm too old for that or something, and this is very sitcom-y, but I sort of, and it does seem to be almost everyone on that team has a certain level of insecurity. We either see that with Blitz and his boyfriend, or we see that with Moxie constantly being undermined and isn't being able to compete in the strongman competition, being hit with a shark and all those things. And so are those insecurities based on the fact that they're insecure, or are those insecurities class determined and so forth? So I sort of wonder, this one made me think there's a larger story going on than we are privy to, and I think this episode might end up being far more important than we realized at the time, even though it just feels like we're going on a trip kind of episode. It feels like there's more rich storytelling there, and I find that to be really interesting. Actually, I'm really curious what's going to happen with Helluva Boss after this, and I think the Stryker character was really fascinating. So I like where this is going. I don't know if I like the episode itself. I like certain parts of it. It's just certain the cliched things. I just felt like I know what's going to happen, and I kind of like it when the show bounces around and does random things, and I don't want it to get too continuity heavy, and I'm really curious what episode 6 is going to be, honestly. So I don't know. I wonder how helpful these reviews are, because I know everyone else is very much a fan and gets excited for various characters, and I just sort of watch them and then review them, and I think that's maybe a different element than what we're getting from these things, because I think most people are overly fantastic, and I'm trying to just do a different angle on it. So I hope these are helpful to some people and they're not just like some old dude talking about Helluva Boss or whatever. Anyway, yeah, that was what I thought of episode 5, Harvest Moon. Let's go on